Thank you for sticking with us. And of course, sandwich is amazing for birthdays. Yeah. So now it's time for some newspaper headlines.
You know, see small chops, sandwich. Sandwich call.
Sandwich is great.
They're
made of the same thing. I don't know what you guys are. They're made of the same thing practically. Anyways, it's time for newspaper headlines. Stop it. And of course, I have Mike here with me, our in-house analyst.
Small chops, not sandwich, no. No be whining us.
All right, I will be starting with the Punch today. And here for the major headlines, we have contributory pension. NLC retires laments as 26 states fail to join the scheme. And for the writers here, we have Lagos, 5 others in full compliance. Contributory pension scheme inevitable, says PENCOM. Now, withholding pension immoral, says NLC. Retirement, now death sentence. Retirees kick. What do you have to say about that, Mike? I think it's actually very important.
You see, yes, now you see that second right idea says immoral. It's
immoral.
You know, of anybody to take away what they've done, the worst would be the old, the elderly. We will all get there, hopefully someday. Not everybody will get to be old. But then this pension is something that you have contributed to, probably your place of where you worked also contributed to, so it's your money and all of that. So it's disheartening when you see, you know, we used to see those long lines of people trying to get pension and all of that. So yes, I agree, it's immoral, it's despicable, it's words cannot describe it. When it comes to pension, look, for those ones, they are the elderly, they have worked their life, they get to a point where they can or might not be able to fend for themselves. Some might have business interests, some don't have. At this particular point in time, that is not something that we should be here. When we hear about the scams and all that happening around the pension benefits and all of that, it's not. It doesn't make for good listening.
Definitely. I mean, because I love the fact that now we have more young people thinking about businesses outside where they work. But then again, in those days, a lot of people relied solely on their pensions, thinking, okay, fine, when they graduate and when they retire, gratuities and things like that. So yes, of course, immoral is sure a word to describe it. So now moving on, we have more stories at the top of the papers. We have China to fund PH Maiduguri Kaduna Kanu rails. We have that on page 33. Anti-graft war should start from National Assembly. EFCC chair. We have that on page 7. Akpabio meets Tinubu, dismisses crisis in the Senate. And at the bottom there, of course, we'll take a quick trip to Gaza and the Israel issue. We have Gaza hospital attack sparks protest. Biden, Israel blame terror group. Ondo National Assembly asks Ayidatiwa to withdraw suit. We have that on page 24. Extortion, police remove DPO, try others after Punch reports. Page 5. Alaafin, EFCC quizzes Oyo Kingmakers over bribery allegation. We have that on page 7. Now back to this Gaza-Israel story. There was a recent bombing on the Gaza hospital. So now blames are being pushed here and there. Israel is saying they're not the ones responsible. It was a misfire from
Hamas
and all of that. So what are you?
But you see, and the fun thing is that Biden also pledged some support for Palestine. And then somebody says, are you funding both sides of the war? But you know, in the end of all of this, I always say something to everybody, whatever view you have about the war. The point is that innocents, civilians, especially children, are dying. And so no matter your stance, no matter your position on this war, the most important thing should be compassion and understanding that as much as possible, there's collateral damage, but we wouldn't want that situation where civilians, women, and children are at risk. This was a hospital with many children, with injured people there, with people taking treatment and all that. Some people even came there for cover and all of that. And these are one of the ill effects of war. This is the part that we don't like. That no matter what side you might say you are on, the point is it's sad that this can happen to a hospital. There should be zones. These are kind of zones that, you know, they should be kept apart or outside war, whatever side you're on.
Well,
so it's quite sad.
It's sad because, I mean, in these times, you can't avoid things like this. I think that is why irrespective of, I don't even think the issue of side taking should even be mentioned. Not so long ago, I know in Nigeria, we also released a statement that we have some other groups in Nigeria saying,
people,
oh,
someone side,
supports
this
one should support. But I think what everyone should be clamoring for now is the settlement, is peaceful, amicable negotiations, and for peace. In all of this, because in the end, it's not going to end in violence. Never literally solves any problem.
At all.
So, we need to move quickly on to The Nation right now for the major headline. This was also picked from the previous paper. We have more Chinese funding for real power other projects. And of course, this is something that a lot of people worry about.
That someday will just come and just find that our passport has changed. We're all Chinese. Or our children have sold all our country to Chinese to pay loans and all of that. I think it happened, what country now? Was that East Africa, where an airport now has been renamed after they were unable to meet their loans and all of that. And it was renamed, and it's now Chinese property. So we're now wondering how much of Nigeria will remain if we continue taking these loans. What are the terms for repayment?
Yes.
And all of that. We don't have access to all the information concerning the intricacies of these particular loans and all of that. But hey, come on, someone said something that if we look at it, we should not optimally have any business loaning money if we put our acts together. But one day I know stand and if your name will be Chonchonli or something.
I think it's something that should really be thought about. Because as much as it seems like everyone is strategic, especially when it comes to country and country relations, right? And you think, okay, they're just helping a lending hand, and you have no idea what is being said. I mean, there's so many stories coming up with things like this. But then again, Wow. And at the top there, we have EFCC quizzes Oyo Kingmakers over Alaafin, twisting race for stool. We have Senate not boiling, says Akpabio. Haven't been following this Senate, Mr.
Oh, yeah, quite interesting and intriguing. Yeah. You know, we've seen some videos and all of that, the storming out and all of that, and they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Someone said something that one of the headlines that we read there, that when we're talking about the checks and balances, you should start with the National Assembly.
Definitely.
Yes, let's start there.
Definitely should. But then again, it's a great thing that, Akpabio is assuring and keeps on reassuring that there's no problem. We agree to disagree, or we disagree to agree, or agree. Anyways, you should get the point. As Mike said, it will be fine, and that's all we have to take, or we can take, for the newspaper updates today. But so much more still coming right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Make sure you stick around. We'll take a quick break right now, and we'll be back.